Yarn barb.
Yarn barb.
Yarn barb. Yarn barb. Yarn barb.
Here's all the yarn. 13 skeins of 38 yards each. Now, I don't know how much they cost on the label. I think it says $4.59 or something outrageous like that. What, you paid $1 a yard? This is not from Joann's. And I don't think Maiden Fair, made in Turkey. Turkey does make fabulous yarns and fibers. Baby B, it's called. Baby B, $4.49. $4.49 a skein. I sure hope she got it on sale.
And then this happened. Yarn barb. All fuzzy, tangled up mess that I've got to try to figure out. Oh, Lord have mercy. And it started out real nice. I'm usually 99% of the time. I can stick my fingers in both ends of the skein and find the center pole. 99%. This one threw me a curveball. This is what do they call this stuff? Baby B AdoreABall, super bulky, and the color is Maiden Fair. And this is for a friend of mine who asked me to make her a blanket for her little 3-year-old. And I had made a blanket for her nephew who hadn't been born yet. It was a baby shower.
1 hour later. I finally get this thing untangled. And there was a problem with the middle of it. I mean, this stuff falls apart kind of easy, I think. It's fuzzy stuff attached to thread. But we did get it fine. I started from one end and worked my way back in. Kind of like a tunnel. You got one person at each end of the tunnel and they walk toward each other until they meet up. So that's what I did with this yarn. I started at the other end and worked my way in to where the trouble was, and now we're untangled and can continue along with this project. But I think I'll have some breakfast first. Well, as you can see, it is slowly growing. We're at about 15 inches in width right now. My big problem is trying to keep bobbles kind of even. This one row, this stitch count might be 63. On another row, it's 65 because we're just freehanding this. And another thing I'm not going to like is this is going to have a lot of finishing work. All these ends all have to be weaved in. And this is one of the problems you have when you use short skeins. And this is what's left over from one of the skeins. Not even enough to do one row. And it's got to get tied in, which means more loose ends. So I do not recommend buying small skeins of yarn for large projects. But it is pretty, I will say that. I give myself a little credit for pretty and originality. All these, I'm calling it the baby bobbly boo blanket. Because all the bobbles. Baby bobbly boo. It's got its own little fiddly digits built right in because you can play with these little things, pop them back and forth. Kind of like bubble wrap. But it is soft and it's textural. And the colors are pretty. And making progress, not real fast, but we're getting there. Well, as you may or may not be able to see, I will say that working with a thick, chunky yarn and a big hook, something about it is oddly satisfying. This baby yarn is really soft, and it slides through your fingers. It doesn't split like some yarns do. Right now I'm just doing a half double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, do a half double crochet, chain 1, and it's going to finish the whole row like that. But there are a million ends to be woven in because, again, this yarn is only 38 yards per skein. So I know I could have made better choice for her and probably saved my friend money going to one of my favorite yarn websites where you can get 20% off a lot of times, and sometimes free shipping if you buy a certain amount. Sometimes they even have a free shipping code. I'm not an affiliate of them. I'm not going to say, you know, buy from this yarn store, but as I know, my go-to yarn store is Joann's online. I do pretty much everything online anymore. You know, just the ease of it. Oh, I gotta running out of battery. Oops. Inch by inch, row by row, this is how the blanket grows. Gonna have a million ends to sew in. And I'm gonna tell her, the baby, that these are little mermaid seashells. Yeah, it's pretty. It's not perfect, but it's pretty.